The list of people who, at the very least, are wary of Ethan Klein of H3H3 is ever growing. It really does sort of become impressive at some point just how long the list is of people who felt the need to vocalize how little they want to do with Ethan. I don't really follow him that much aside from, doing a drama video every once in a while. But I thought he just did like a comedy podcast or whatever. But he has really gotten himself roped into this whole Israel-Palestine thing. And the most recent addition to the list of people who are wary of Ethan is the Try Guys of BuzzFeed. I think they left quite a while ago or whatever, but that's all I ever knew of them really up until this. And the the crazy part is these guys are doing about as well as the Beatles in terms of survivability because the purple guy and the red guy are gone. It's just the blue guy and the green guy that are left. They lost half of their men. I think the purple guy just left without controversy, but then the red guy, he cheated on his wife, so they excised him from the group. But the remaining two members and some other guy have a podcast, and H3 came up.
It's like historically, the Democratic Party and whatever has been like, we don't want those bad votes. And it's actually like we do want those bad votes. We want it to be representative of a larger swath of people that maybe disagree with some of the policies, but are like, I'm voting this way still.
Her camp was afraid of blowback. They said that. Yeah. And so, Joe Rogan, he has said things that are
totally insane.
He has said transphobic things in the past. He has been severe.
This is what leads them into the conversation of Ethan. This is what reminds them, Joe Rogan, the transphobe. Oh, and by the way, that reminds me.
Very anti-vaxxer. Yeah. So you say, great, we're not going to associate with that guy. But when you don't associate with that guy, you are now allowing that to fester uninterrupted. Yeah. And I don't think that he is the only reason that Kamala lost.
No, certainly not.
I have so much anger for the Democratic Party and for their fucking fecklessness. But
good thing we switched to some random lady so she could say, yeah. What?
Crazy.
Well, here's something I can relate it to our own experience. Yeah. Something that very much like that. And maybe we'll cut all this out. We have been invited on more than one occasion.
Is it just whatever camera makes a sound, it switches automatically? That's very unnecessary. I don't need to see a cutaway for somebody to giggle or say, yeah. Just... do whoever's actually talking more than a word.
To be on the H3 podcast.
This is.
I'll go back. I was talking over it.
Our own experience. Yeah. Something that very much like that. And maybe we'll cut all this out. We have been invited on more than one occasion to be on the H3 podcast.
This is interesting, Katie.
Huh.
This is interesting.
And we have kind of never responded because we're like, well, I don't want our going on that podcast to be us saying that the things on this podcast are what we endorse.
There's a producer on that show who...
I mean, they're scared to go on H3. I mean, it's not like... I don't understand. They kind of get into this whole platforming thing. I think it's so lame that this is where we are, where everybody's so afraid of platforming people. I get like if you don't want to platform Nick Fuentes or somebody who does debates and is, going to own you in the intellectual battlefield or whatever. But I mean, I would think Ethan, you can just have a conversation with, right? You're not going to get obliterated by him. Maybe I'm wrong. But what a room of soft individuals here. And that's coming from me. If a guy that looks like me is saying, I would be the hardest guy in this room if I was there. That's not good. But yeah, these guys, they're like straight up afraid to go on Ethan's show, which is crazy to me. Because I guess he has a crew, but his crew, especially with this Israel-Palestine stuff, I get the impression from the H3 Snark Reddit that they're not really all that on board with Ethan with this Israel-Palestine stuff either.
who's a Try Guys fan, and she seems darling. And if you're listening to this and we haven't cut it, you seem excellent.
I like Olivia a lot.
But also, like, I think if we went on there, we would probably sort of check them at every step that they present to us that is negative. But at the same time, at some point, we're going to joke and have fun.
Yeah.
I feel like I missed something. Like, I get disagreeing with Ethan, but my whole understanding is he does think what Israel does is bad, but also the people who live there should have have some right to live there or something. I don't know exactly, but it's my impression. He always had like a middle of the road impression. I don't know anything about Israel-Palestine, but I don't know. It's weird. Like, what all do these people think they're really going to disagree on? I don't know. Like, I fully admit I don't know the details, but I don't really get what they think they're going to disagree so vehemently with him on. And there's going to be a whole list of things apparently, according to these guys, or this guy at least.
With them.
This is
and
interesting.
That is like, am I painting what they are saying in a positive light, or am I using this opportunity while still doing that to try to reach some of those people and be able to like tell him to his face, I'm like, yeah, but you're putting on a character of being a douchebag.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You wouldn't actually have me on the show if you hated me, because why would I be here? So you're like pretending to hate me because the type of entertainment you make is to put people down, and you even like put down our launching a subscription service while you have a YouTube memberships.
Yeah, that's so.
Okay, so they're upset that these guys, they tried to. I think they wanted to do like a separate website though. It wasn't just because they say, oh, YouTube memberships is just the same thing. Which I mean, for the most part, you are just asking for money to do content, more or less. That's usually what it is. But asking people to go to another website is kind of a lot. I find that a lot more annoying than, we want you to pay us through YouTube. I think most people agree with that. It's a little bit of a pain to go to another website or whatever, other than the ones you usually use.
Oh, interesting.
Like, you have YouTube memberships. It's the same exact thing.
More specifically,
I think that's a great point.
But like, should we?
I mean, do you think it's a great point? I get if you agree. I mostly agree with that. But is it a great point?
Go on it.
And more specifically with Ethan, he is someone who, we're both Jewish guys. We have different views about Israel and Palestine. He has said some really wildly hateful things about Palestinian supporters. And so I have a disagreement with him in views. And I think that's a conversation we could have, even though he comes at it from a place of wild diatribes. But then, there's that question.
Yeah, see, like this stuff, the way he's talking here, I feel like I'm missing something. Like, Ethan must have gone on some crazy tirades or something that I checked the H3 Snark subreddit, so I don't know why I haven't seen these unhinged clips. They were Loner Box it was going to be on there, and people were very upset about that.
To audiences, is it by even going on their platform, or by platforming them, are you validating?
Yeah.
And now you're shutting yourself away from those spaces. But if you shut yourself away from those spaces, then you're not able to talk to other people. I don't know the answer.
I don't know.
Here.
I think this is a very
Why was that move?
To talk to other people. I don't know the answer.
I don't know.
Here.
I think this is a very interesting conversation.
But this is exactly like Kamala doesn't go on Joe Rogan.
No, it is.
And by the way, it's exactly like that.
It's at least as close as we can get.
But it is. I think what's tricky about it is, it's like the game as it's been played by people.
But I mean, they see H3H3 is as dangerous as Joe Rogan. I mean, Joe Rogan had like Donald Trump and did he have? I think he had JD Vance on too, right? And he has Elon Musk on there. That guy's practically a regular. But I don't know. I thought Ethan mostly just did memes and stuff. I don't know.
People like us, typically, who have the views that we have, is like, I don't even want to associate, because I don't want my base to be like, my base audience of people that I agree with typically, to be like, your views are now fractured because you're having a conversation with this person.
Yeah.
And I think that is a valid concern. However, I do think.
Is it? I feel like that's such a lame direction for the internet to keep going. Or everybody who disagrees just sequesters themselves off into their own little subsection. Is that really what people want? That sounds lame to me. I mean, it sounds kind of awful, honestly.
On the other side, they don't care if they disagree. Like people on the right, people who are maybe like, you know, you've got people on the right who are Republican senators who are probably like, fiscally, I feel this way, but now they're so deeply embedded, they don't care if they agree.
Like even worst case scenario, like you go on H3's show and Ethan owns you in the intellectual battlefield. What's the real harm of that? Again, like I understand with something like Nick Fuentes or whatever, because you don't want to bring attention to a guy that doesn't have much of an audience or whatever. Otherwise, you know, he doesn't have access to audiences. He's sequestered off to Rumble or wherever he's left, you know? That makes a little bit more sense. I can understand where you're coming from. Still think it's kind of a little bit weird that to sequester people like that, but you know, you got to obey the TOS. But really, what would be so terrible if you went on H3 and you know Ethan ended up looking a little bit more correct? You know, and how crazy would your disagreement be anyway?
Disagree or agree, it's all just kind of one unified voice. And I am curious, like, yeah, if conversations like that are had, is that an endorsement? Are you able to then just voice your opinion to a different audience of people that some of them might be like, okay, actually, I see this point and it's not so crazy or whatever. I have no idea, but
it's going to be a continuing conversation, I imagine, over the next 4 years.
Yeah, probably. But anyway,
that's pretty much all they got into as far as the H3 on comments. But they did respond to this on the podcast, and I mean, you can kind of see it on Ethan's face. He looks so tired of this stuff. Like he looks like he just wants a friend.
You up?
To our own experience, something that very much like that, and maybe we'll cut all this out. We have been invited on more than one occasion to be on the H3 podcast.
Oh, this is interesting. Can I say something just unrelated to his criticism of me? Just saying, based on the numbers, you could use the exposure.
Not doing yourself any favors there.
But that's just empirical truth. This is a big opportunity for them in the podcasting space.
For the Try Guys?
Yeah.
You're gonna elevate their exposure, the Try Guys?
Okay, you're right. So people just they know about it, but they don't want to watch it. Is that your theory? Because that's 33,000 views.
He does not do himself any favors here. Like this kind of stuff, I can see why people don't like Ethan because he does talk shit about pretty much everybody that comes up on his screen. That makes more sense.
They're watching it.
It has 30,000 views in one day.
Right. They're not known for their podcast.
Well, they could be if they came on the show.
Check what is it at right now. 46,000 in 4 days. So not too much change since then.
You know, I'm just saying, Dan's like, oh yeah, no, everyone knows. They just hate them. Wow, that's much better, Dan.
So rude.
This is and we have kind of never responded because we're like, well, I don't want our going on that podcast to be us saying that the things on this podcast are what we endorse.
There's a producer on that show who's a Try Guys fan, and she seems darling. And if you're listening to this and we haven't cut it, you seem excellent.
I love you.
She's darling.
She is darling.
And that's good.
True.
I mean, work with her. She works here. You know what I mean? Like, how bad can it be?
Well, just let Olivia interview them. Well, don't be here that day. I
think that they and me and them, we'd get along swimmingly, I think.
We could try that.
Yeah?
Yeah, I won't come in
I
that
could
day.
have an earpiece.
Or you could be here in disguise.
It really does seem like a bad state of affairs when you are so disliked that people they feel the need to differentiate your crew from you. They're like, well, you know, we hate Ethan. We think he's garbage. He's so bad. We do want to just make the exception, though. Olivia is not complete trash, all right? Even though she works for this demon, you know, she's okay.
Guys,
we'll
and that
say,
could be
look,
the surprise in the second half. He's been here all along. You'd be the table itself.
Okay,
Like dress you up as the
I'll be
table, and then
under
you're
the
all sitting
table.
around.
That could be artful.
And then you stand up with it like strapped to your back.
We'll say this. What if we promised Ethan wouldn't even come into the office that day? You want to come then?
Yeah, I could make that happen, you guys.
But yeah, send them another email because
Yes.
I think we can work this out.
Yeah, we would love to have you guys on.
I like Olivia a lot. But also,
Love you.
Oh, they even know your name.
That was Miles. Hi, Miles.
That guy, he's a fan. He must watch the show if he knows.
I think if any of them watch the show, Miles has talked about us the most.
Okay. If Miles is.
Now, Miles, I mean, I don't disagree with Miles' assessment.
Ethan was like strategizing. He's like, okay, so we have an in with Miles.
And Olivia is lovely, but chopped liver? Like,
Yes,
what is this? What did I do?
People aren't coming in for Dan.
What did I do?
I don't know. Maybe I'm just
the
a
Try
little
Guys
bit
aren't coming.
super charming.
The
and
fuck did
beautiful.
I
Can I watch this clip, please? I mean, my God, we've been here for 2 hours. I haven't watched a single.
Whose fault is
single
that?
clip. You
I'm feeling
Rambling
great.
about
I'm feeling
vegetarianism.
awesome so far.
Yeah, Olivia's having a moment. Let her shine.
I'm
me
trying to.
shine.
I'd like to play it.
All right,
I can't.
all right, play
I'm
the
trying to
clip.
let her shine, and Dan's coming in here talking. What about me?
Yeah, I'm trying to make it about.
See, imagine if I would have played this first. All of this plus my interruptions, you would have never heard what the Try Guys had to say.
Me.
Yeah, you're making an overcast on a sunny day, Dan. Typical.
It is overcast outside. I have no control of the weather. I do the traffic.
Well, then leave it to me. I'll tell you, it's gloomy every time you open your mouth.
Every time.
If we went on there, we would probably sort of check them at every step that they present to us. That is.
So this, I think, I'm amused by the fact that he thinks that I'm like so out there that he's gonna need to be checking me on all of my crazy things.
Well, I have a theory about what's actually going on here and what it is that they disagree with you on. I think these guys are hardcore Jewish supremacists, and they do not like that you have been given any quarter to the Palestinian side of this whole argument.
You think they're on the?
I think they want a new Gaza.
That would be interesting.
Yeah. What a twist.
I'd love to be
the Try Guys.
I'd love to be in that position to defend.
Try nuclear warfare.
Is that true, Try Guys? Okay, because
So Dan was saying Ethan was not doing himself any favors before, but now he said the Try Guys want to nuke. What was it? Gaza? Nuke Gaza, I think. That seems a little bit more controversial than what Ethan said about them.
that's because I'm not sure I want them on.
They're being vague,
Are
you
they
know what I
pro-
mean? So what am I supposed to be inferring here? What beliefs do we disagree with?
You're kind of right.
You know
They
what I'm
never
saying?
explicitly say because I feel that I am pro-Palestine. I am supportive of the Palestinian people and their plight. I've donated money. I support them. I also just don't think, I'm also like more sympathetic to to Israel than most other activists, and so that's what
Not enough for the Try Guys.
they're saying. They like, yeah, I think you're right. They want to fight. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Did they vote for Trump? They must have voted for Trump.
I don't know who they voted for.
Have they
I don't know
said
who
who
they voted for.
We got to find out.
Try Guys, try nuclear warfare. That's fucked up. That's actually so fucked up.
Try Guys,
Great
try
thumbnail.
Raytheon, somebody said in the chat.
They're gonna have to come in and prove to me that.
They're never coming on.
I know.
I am joking, obviously.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. It's like they were already iffy about it. Now you guys have been going on for like multiple minutes, I think, at this point about how they want to go nuclear. Literally nuclear.
If
What
they
is
see
wrong?
this, they know I'm joking.
They're funny guys.
Yeah.
I'm a funny guy. We literally, I guarantee you, we believe the same thing, like within a 95% plus or minus.
Maybe we're way off base here, and maybe it actually has nothing to do with Israel-Palestine, and maybe they just like disagree with your take on, I don't know, they don't like.
Leafy.
Well, I think they might actually be upset about the subscription service criticism. Because that, I mean, I think the blue guy, I think it was the blue guy. He really wanted to get that argument out there that it was pretty much the same thing as memberships on YouTube. So I mean, sure, they're fairly similar, but I mean, he seemed excited to make the point, like he did feel some type of way about it.
Kendrick Lamar.
They like Leafy.
Yeah, they're Leafy fans.
They're Keemstar heads.
Yeah, it's really got nothing to do with any of that.
Negative, but at the same time, at some point, we're going to joke and have fun with them. And that is like, am I painting what they are saying in a positive light, or am I using this opportunity while still doing that to try to reach some of those people and be able?
I don't think I've ever seen once in recent memory where someone's like, Ethan has said so many horrible things, where they actually say one thing I said that was so horrible.
You've been mean about them.
No, they're not talking about me being mean about them. They're talking about like my insane, and they get more specific about it. Yeah, I've been mean to them. I don't deny that.
Yeah, you used to call Keith Mouth. I think about that a lot.
I don't think I meant that. It was an accident. But
I don't think I meant it. I think that might hurt him even more. Just when you saw the guy impulsively, you thought mouth. I mean, I don't necessarily disagree with that, but I could see why he wouldn't like that.
He's a funny guy. He would like that.
Just mouth. Wow.
I think if you could say it to him and then he could hear it right in front
Maybe as a cover, you could say it reminds you of the character from the Goonies.
of you, and then you guys could like hug about it, then that would be a beautiful, beautiful
Dude,
thing.
there's no reason I can't be friends with these guys.
Yeah.
Well,
I like trying stuff.
Maybe let's try and make it happen.
I like
Let's
new
convince 'em.
experiences.
Let's convince them.
I think Ethan is just like, I need to build some bridges here. I've been burning too many bridges. It would be really nice if I could build one or two.
Liquid that they spit out of their mouths.
Able to like tell him to say something like, yeah, but you're putting on a character of being a douchebag.
Yeah. Okay, I hate to break it to you, buddy, but this is the real thing.
The little character. Peek behind the curtain.
I hate to tell you, buddy. There's no character. There's no shtick. This is just who I am.
Yeah. Right. You wouldn't actually have me on the show if you hated me, because
that's true.
Why would I be here? So you're
no, that's not. I have people on. Yeah, that's actually
have
not
had
true.
people you hated.
Actually, I prefer it at this point.
It's better. It's good content.
But I
that's all that's left.
Clearly, don't hate them. I mean, come on.
Yeah, and you wouldn't have them in studio. You only love people in studio.
I'm telling them I like them. I want to have a nice conversation with them. I don't want to do anything weird. I'm not here to be like, sit them down and be like, here's why we need to eliminate. I'm not even going to say it because, like, why bother? People will clip it and be like, see?
Yeah.
Tending to hate me because the type of entertainment you make is to put people down, and you even like put down our launching a subscription service while you.
Oh, he's mad about that.
You guys disagree about that?
It did happen.
Have a YouTube memberships.
Yeah, that's so interesting.
Like you have YouTube memberships. It's the same exact thing.
It's not.
It's not, Keith. It's really not.
You guys.
But
we don't need to argue about it. We don't need to argue about it.
But yeah,
I'm a supporter.
They could debate that if they did a show together. I'd be interested to see how that goes, because I mean, I understand the whole asking for money. That part is the same, but really, to me, it does seem like you really want me to go to another website for your content. That's pretty annoying. But like, it's got to be really good content, you know. Maybe one or two specific shows I would ever do that for. So it's got to be primo.
Are you a paying member?
Yes.
You support them financially?
Liv, didn't you go see him live?
For real? Are you lying? Just be real with us. We're having a moment of honesty, Olivia.
Not yet. I will be today.
Yeah, me too.
I'll sign up if they come on.
Okay, I mean that's
okay.
All right.
But the thing is, like, yes, my brand of comedy, I'll admit, is I talk a lot of shit. Like, I'm a messy ass bitch. I don't hide from it. However, I do think that when people understand more.
Imagine having a YouTube channel where pretty much all you do is just talk shit. Really, just disgusting.
Specifically, what I'm doing, they understand that I'm actually a really great guy. I think they'll find that.
More specifically, I think that's a great point.
But like,
I'll give you. It's a great point. You're right. He's right. He's right. I concede. Oh, come on, Keith. It's not the same thing at all. I didn't call him mouth.
You didn't?
Not that time.
Respect.
Right,
I called him
Oh,
Keith.
not yet.
I was gonna say I would trust the crew over that for sure. I'm almost if they said it, I'm almost positive that he called them mouth.
Yeah.
Right, not that time. Yeah.
I'm kidding. I don't care.
Like, should we go on it?
And more specifically with Ethan, he is someone who, we're both Jewish guys. We have
I didn't know you're Jewish, but nice to see you.
different views about Israel and Palestine. He has said some really wildly hateful things about Palestinian supporters.
Like what? Like, again, it's like what did I say? Like, I just don't understand what I said. Wildly hateful things about Palestinian supporters. Like, again, I'm not hating you.
Well,
but
let's get him on here and ask.
Yeah, so like, I wish when people
chop it up.
I wish when people said that, they would say what I said.
Mm-hmm.
Because I really don't think we're that far off here. And I don't know exactly what your views are, but I'm assuming you're against.
This thing that is that the same as his eyebrows, the Tourette's or whatever, is very distracting. Like he's going crazy with it right now.
The genocide.
Right, again, back to my original theory.
Yeah.
The things that you said was that, they have a point, and he's upset about that.
If you're pro-genocide, then we're definitely going to have a disagreement. You're going to get roasted.
You're going to get roasted.
And so I have a disagreement with him in views. And I think that's a conversation we could have, even though he comes at it from a place of wild diatribes.
I've never diatribed in my life. Never. Not once.
Yeah, no.
I mean, listen, I don't blame him because if you go on Twitter, like all of Twitter, like in the entirety of it, I am essentially, worse than Netanyahu. I am like the chief architect of the Israeli, of the war happening right now. And I am setting the policy. It's like, I mean, it's truly unbelievable. What people are saying about me online.
Well, they did the Creators for Palestine fundraiser, and I know.
I never said a single bad thing about that.
No,
if
I'm just
anything, I
saying-
said something nice about it.
Yeah, no, I'm saying some of the people that were involved in that were the ones banned on Twitch.
Okay, well, listen, if you guys, I'm sure this Jewish guy would like to know how great his friend Frogan feels about, I love that. I think there's room for conversation. I think you would learn a lot about some of the people that you think are great, like Frogan, who's actually just a rampant, horrible person. I mean, she is just a terrible person, objectively speaking. Like, just.
It is weird to me that there's a type of person who's wildly opposed to Ethan, but they're okay with Frogan. I mean, really, just the fact that you're okay with Frogan at all, that's a little bit wild, but either way.
Wow, there's nothing redeeming there.
You're right. I think you would be friends with them.
I'm not talking about him.
Oh.
Yeah, you're being sarcastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think we have a lot to talk about.
But then, there's that question to audiences. Is it by even going on their platform or by platforming them, are you validating?
Yeah.
And now you're shutting yourself away from those spaces. But if you shut yourself away from those spaces, then you're not able to talk to other people.
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
So, like,
Look at that pause. They fully extended there.
in terms of how he's describing me, I disagree, but the sentiment, I totally understand, and I agree with him. Like, whenever I want to talk to people and everyone's like, no, you can't.
That is really, and he's doing this too. That is just a terrible pause for that guy.
Talk to him because this and this and this. It's like, I'm so over that. I'm not doing that anymore. I'm going to talk to whoever the fuck I want. And you're just going to have to trust me to conduct the interview in a responsible way. I feel I have a good track record of doing that. You know what I mean? And so you're going to watch the show, and I'm going to talk to whoever the fuck I want. And with that being said, we actually have... who's... I was going to say Hitler, but he's dead.
Yeah.
But Dan Bilzerian, I would have him call in an instant. You know what I mean? But again, I don't think we disagree.
Know the answer.
I don't know.
Is Dan Bilzerian that bad that he's the guy you name after Hitler? I feel like I'm missing some Dan Bilzerian lore as well.
That leg kick was something, wasn't it?
Yeah. And now you're shutting yourself away from those spaces.
Good.
But if you shut yourself away from those spaces, then
this.
you're not able to talk to other people. I don't know the answer.
I don't know.
I think this is a very interesting conversation.
But this is exactly like Kamala doesn't go into.
But that's me. I sit like that. Don't I sit like this?
Get your feet off the table. You eat off of there all the time, Ethan, all right? It's one or the other. You put your feet on it or you eat off of it. You don't do both of those things with any object, all right? Otherwise, we'd be eating off the floor.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Zach?
Zach and Mouth.
Keith.
Rogan.
No, it is.
And by the way, it's exactly like that.
It's at least as close as we can get.
But it is. I think what's tricky about it is, yeah, it's like the game as it's been played by people like us, typically, who have the views that we have, is like, I don't even want to associate, because I don't want my base to be like, my base audience of people that I agree with typically, to be like, your views are now fractured because you're having a conversation with this person.
Yeah.
And I think
I agree that people do that, and I think it's just fucking pathetic. Like I think we need to stop giving in to this obscene like online activism where it's like anyone that I disagree with needs to be basically outcast for my entire life from society. We can't talk to them, we can't work with them, we can't do anything with them. Like I'm so done with that, dude. It's so stupid. But I agree that if they
Yeah, it would be. I feel like Ethan kind of leaned into that a little bit before, right? Wasn't everybody mad at him because he was going lefty cancel culture mode? Maybe not. I don't tune in enough, but I feel like he did play into that at least a little bit for a while. But I could definitely be wrong about that. I'm going off vibes there.
you know, there's probably a portion of the audience would be like, I can't believe you're talking to Ethan because he's a fucking. I saw a TikTok someone posted on the subreddit. It was just a link. She's of this girl like, if you watch the H3 show, I'm just gonna say it. You're racist. If you watch the H3 show still, you're racist. And this is the kind of shit that's on TikTok and Twitter about me. It's fucking insane.
Dude, one of my favorite interviews I did was I interviewed Patrick Bet David, who's like crazy, like right-wing guy.
Yeah.
And I thought that was the most entertaining because he was so like outlandish. I didn't believe anything he was talking about, but it was like entertaining. So I think it's great to have people with opposing viewpoints on.
Well, my thing is when I have people with opposing views, like I prepare for it. I'm just like my philosophy is I prepare and I challenge them. And it doesn't also mean that we can't connect on a human level too, because guess what? We're all fucking human beings, dude. And like it or not,
so true.
Trump won the goddamn popular vote. And as much as you pretend and cry and shit and piss and wish it didn't happen, it is the facts.
But
And we wish it didn't happen.
Like, wish all you want, girly, but they're out there. You know what I mean? They're out there. You know? I think it's time to start being human beings again. I think we need to like.
I never stopped, brother.
Yeah, you are a real one, for real. You've been off Twitter. You are, but like, I think it's time we got to start being human beings again. Like this whole social media attitude, that online activism is probably, it's corroding, it's damaging everything, in the words of Tim Pool.
Making it all worse.
You know, like I'm just done, man.
Ethan Klein is.
Rest in peace to Tim Pool's crew. They just about all got axed. Only guy left is Ian. the guy who showed up late and high to the last episode.
Is damaging everything, making it all worse.
Exactly.
I agree. Call
thank
Hassan
you,
right
Abby.
now. Tell him you miss him.
Oh, well, that's a more personal beef, not so much
Oh,
like
okay.
we disagree on things. Well, we do.
It's worth a shot.
You want me to call him right now? Just say.
Please don't do that.
You want me to call him right now on live?
You doing, AB?
I won't. Yeah, that's not the conversation I'm looking at right now.
I think that is a valid concern. However, I do think on the other side, they don't care if they disagree. Like people on the right, people who are maybe like, you know, you've got people on the right who are Republican senators who are probably like, fiscally, I feel this way, but now they're so deeply embedded, they don't care if they disagree or agree. It's all just kind of one unified voice. And I am curious, like, yeah, if conversations like that are had, is that an endorsement? Are you able to then just voice your opinion to a different audience of people that some of them might be like, okay, actually, I see this point and it's not so crazy?
Listen, I agree totally with them. Like when I went on Steiny's podcast.
The thing is, I don't know if this guy actually believes that. He's. It sounds like he's actually asking. Is that a thing? Can you go on other places and maybe bring people over to your side a little bit and get a better understanding of where they're coming from? I don't know. Maybe. Theoretically, it's possible.
I had like a really fruitful conversation with him and Bradley Martin, or not, it's Bradley's podcast. And people are like, oh, yeah. Now when I start talking about the recent stuff, they're like, you platformed MAGA kid. It's like, are you, like, you are so dysfunctional as a human being. Like, I take what you say is worth fucking dust. Like, you are such a pathetic loser. I can't believe you had a productive conversation with Steiny and Bradley Martin where you actually, like, connected as human beings and tried to have, like, a good dialogue. It's like, you pathetic fucking weasel.
What are you supposed to do when you sit down on the couch with them? Pepper spray them in the eyes?
Well, just don't go. They don't want me to talk to them. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw someone say, I hope they don't talk to Mike Malek at the tournament. I'm sorry. I love Mike. He's such a nice guy.
Yeah, these people are such losers. They go, I see Mike Malek. Oh, over here's there must have been. Oh, Charlie Kirk was supposed to be there. I probably would have done that to him because
Bryce Hall was there, right?
Bryce Hall. I like Bryce Hall. Bryce Hall. Charlie Kirk was supposed to be there.
Right, I forgot about that.
Yeah, he sucks ass.
He didn't show. Yeah, no, that guy.
You still wouldn't want to do that though. You should just talk. People like that, you just talk shit to their face.
Yeah, and I do. You guys have seen it.
Yeah, exactly.
If I had to agree with all of like the people I know with their politics, I would have like no friends back home. I wouldn't be able to talk to my cousins. Like, you don't have to agree on every single thing.
Yeah,
it's so fucking like pathetic. Like, it's time. It's time to grow up. Okay, grow up. This is an adult show. Okay, if you're a child, go watch fucking Blippi because that's not what we do here. Go watch Ryan Toy reviews. Give that guy another
Blippi.
fucking.
I think they come back to it very briefly here.
Even then, when he was shitting on his homie.
Yeah, he had bigger dreams.
Whatever. I have no idea, but
it's going to be a continuing conversation, I imagine, over the next 4 years.
Yeah, probably. But anyway, I think that
I did not vote for Donald Trump. Did I advocate for voting for Donald Trump? I voted for Kamala. In fact, I might be one of her most strongest warriors.
You were very pro Kamala. That is true.
So anyway, guys,
you think you just fell out of a coconut tree?
Hell no. You're right. You're so on, girl. So, in short, I think we could have a great conversation. I think you guys misunderstand what I'm about, and I'm not.
He does actually want to build a bridge with the Try Guys. He's like, man, I need some friends. Please, Try Guys. Can we just have a chat? I promise you won't hate me as much as you think you would.
I'm gonna razz you guys. I just want to look at my other interviews. You know, they're always friendly. I like you guys. You know what I mean?
What about the Steven Crowder interview? I was not friendly. I was hostile. You brought in an opponent, an enemy of Steven Crowder, Sam Cedar. Maybe they're worried about that.
Like I goof on.
Not Sam Cedar specifically. I would think they probably agree with Sam Cedar more than they agree with Ethan. But you know, some other scary person.
A little bit, but like, I mean, it's friendly ribbing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not hateful. Not that hateful. I mean, I can't help it. You know what I mean? I can't help being a little hateful.
Okay.
But, you know. So hopefully, did you send them an email?
Yeah.
Good. What, do you want to read it?
Have they replied? Tell me as soon as they reply.
It's just like, hi, reaching out again.
Okay. Just pretty boilerplate.
Yeah. Check it. It's from the podcast account.
You should have been like, "Hi, it's Olivia, the one person on the H3 crew you like."
I can. Next one, I'll
they'll
sign
see your
Olivia.
name. They'll see your name.
That's true. It's from Olivia.
Well, it's
Oh,
from
you sent it from the podcast
pod
account.
account.
Oh, that was a huge mistake.
That was a huge mistake.
Okay.
We did the least amount of H3 association possible, Olivia. Really, it's best if they don't see any of that, they just see your name, right? They said they liked you, all right?
Can you unsend it?
Yes.
Unsend it.
Wow.
Copy it, unsend it, send it from Olivia. That's how we get it.
Okay, I'll send it. You guys, I'm sending it from my Instagram.
Oh.
Okay.
And say, hey, trying again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see, look at that. He's grabbing snacks from the table he just had his feet on. How repulsive.
Right. Olivia tries to get the Try Guys on.
Nice.
Just crunches straight into the mic. Okay, that looks like that's pretty much it. Especially if he's eating. I don't need any of that. But so he also posted an Instagram story, I believe this is. Ethan's response to the Try Guys clip about him, posting for anyone who didn't see from yesterday around 3 p.m. LA time. It says, I think it's nice they didn't just call me crazy and dismiss me outright. I don't think we'll disagree on much, if anything, on Palestine, despite what you've seen on Twitter. I agree we should be able to talk. It seems like we have a lot to discuss. I'm definitely interested in demystifying whatever concept you have of me being a right-wing Palestinian hater. My gripe with the activists is their nonstop propaganda campaign to ruin anyone that doesn't pass their purity tests, despite agreeing on 95% of things. You guys should come on. So Ethan really, he would like to smooth things over and, make a friendship or two, maybe. But if you can believe it, the people on H3 Snark, not on board with this. They're upset. It's interesting how different the tone of Ethan's response is here compared to the way he's torn into his critics previously. The Try Guys have even collaborated with Hassan, Frogan, and Denims. Why aren't they getting the Hassan and Friends treatment? Surely it has nothing to do with the fact that Ethan is bleeding views, subs, and members, while the Try Guys have a stellar public image and decent-sized audience. Even this nice guy act is riddled with red flags, like, bro, point 3 reeks of red flag. I love that he didn't address the parts where they imply he's mean and snarky and hypocritical. Well, he did, to be fair, he did on the show. He said, yes, I'm a messy bitch. I think that's what he said. Rude. Something like that. I don't think it's a mystery why someone would think he's right-wing and against pro-Palestinian voices. He hangs out with right-wingers like they're old pals and has been on a non-stop mission to slander and deplatform creators speaking out against Israel. Don't even get me started on his friend, Mr. Borelli, and the fungi. Is that Stephen Bonelli? Destiny? I'm guessing that's what it is. Maybe you're not allowed to say Destiny's name. I saw they on this thread or on this subreddit, you're not allowed to bring up Red Bar, and I think there's at least one other person I saw that you're not allowed. They're considered even worse than Ethan. Don't even get me started on his friend Destiny and the fungi attached to him. I'm gonna go with. But yeah, I mean, you kind of get the idea there. They very much do not like him. And this is just unrelated, but this is a funny clip. Ethan gets upset because he thought no one asked him if he wanted food. The crew confirms they did ask Ethan, and he said he didn't want anything. Ethan whines anyway.
Usually
whoa, what's going on here? Everybody got food? Nobody asked me?
Like,
literally every
asked
you.
When did you ask me? You asked directly and you said no, I just
You
had
said
a
no,
protein
I
shake.
did.
Oh.
and I even told you.
Yes, Dan.
We have guests here. Every single one of these people has food.
And I asked everyone.
And
Yeah.
Dan's right. You said
Lena
no, I just had a
double-checked.
protein shake.
Lena texted me. She goes, "Should I ask Ethan?" I said, "He already said he ate."
And I said, thank you for, because I didn't hear you that you picked up right. I mean, that you already gave your answer.
I even trolled you a little bit. I said, like, you ate a fucking cookie? And you said, yep.
Or you had a smoothie, right?
Or
Is that
whatever it
what
was.
you said? A smoothie?
I had a protein shake, yeah.
Yeah.
Protein shake.
I didn't
That's
realize everybody was doing it, love. Like
This is good
sometimes you
practice
just
for
order.
being,
Hold on,
vegetarian.
sometimes you just order like a little bit on the side, and
Okay, Reddit doesn't work like they can't use a space bar. He feels so left out that everybody has a snack and he doesn't have a snack. It just drives me nuts. I don't understand. You're on the mic. What? How many hours a week are you on the mic? You can't just stop eating. You can't set aside 10, maybe 20 hours a week to just not be eating for that time where you're getting paid absurd amounts of money.
and you get lunch, and that's fine. But like that's a different thing from when like everybody's
It's like
getting
a party.
Well,
in
I
here.
was walking around asking everyone what they wanted to do for
Yes,
food.
he was.
Tom,
That's not what you asked me. You said, "Do you want?" You said like, "Are you hungry or do you want lunch?"
No, I said, "Do you want a steak or something like that?"
No, you did not.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
You're
Love,
being
I heard.
What did you hear him
ridiculous
say?
right now.
He said, "Do you want a steak or something?" That literally.
Like, how does that happen? That he's saying he didn't do that, and then instantly his entire crew's like, "No, yes, you did. Yes, you did." Does he honestly not remember? Is he that convinced that he's being left out of the food party?
Those words to you.
That's a bizarre question to begin
Like we're
with.
getting
Stop
the
it.
steak.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I was referring to this steak, and you knew that.
Yep.
You're
Ethan,
being.
you want some of?
You're being a big baby.
Well, Ethan, you want some of this?
Here.
No. I
Let's-
don't like
everyone-
seafood.
everyone
I'm
give-
fine. I'm
Ethan,
fine.
I didn't-
They're trying to offer him their leftovers to appease him. They didn't realize, oh my goodness, I didn't know he was gonna feel so left out of the food.
I'm fine.
Sacrifice a
But I'm
piece of
just saying
steak.
there's a difference between like, oh, do you want to get lunch? Like I'm ordering lunch, do you want something? And every single fucking person in the office is getting lunch.
I asked
That's
everyone.
different.
I asked
That's like an
everyone the
event.
same.
We're talking about like an event where everybody's eating lunch. Dude. And like, oh, I'm just ordering like Wendy's. Do you want something?
It's literally
very
a party in here
invested
right
in-
now.
Okay, is it not just as simple? They asked if you wanted food and you said no? Is there really more to it than that? Like, once you say no, they're supposed to say, okay, but Ethan, do you know at least 75% of the people in this room are going to be eating? Are you sure you don't want to get some food? What do you what do you want? It seems pretty unanimous that they asked you the same as everybody else.
You also eating, because then you pay for it. But you said no, so I went to everyone else.
But you should have tried harder then.
Well, I don't want to bother you too much. I try hard to make you order
Yeah,
food.
it's true.
He did
I'm
ask
the
several
person that
times.
tries.
Also, Ethan, I didn't get anything. You want to go, you and me?
Yeah, me and Nate are gonna order out.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Nate just put his order in too late.
Where did you guys order from?
No free ads.
No free ads, exactly. Pay me and I'll
That was
tell
a was that a trick question?
Pay us and I'll unlock the name.
Damn right.
Well, enjoy. I mean,
Yeah, I am.
Thanks, man.
It's great. It's
1, 2,
delicious.
3,
told you I'd
4,
give you some
5, 6,
falafel.
7, 8. Zach, did you order?
I'm offering you some of my.
Lena, did you order?
I
You're
did.
ignoring me.
Okay,
ignoring
9.
But I thought of you.
Oh well.
We even have the text. And I told Abby, and I said, I feel like Ethan's not going to like if everyone is eating.
You
and
should
he's
you
the only
should
one that
text
isn't.
me next.
Oh my, so they actually have to worry about this. I thought it was ridiculous that they would even think of this, but I think they said her name is Lena. Lena was worried. She's like, okay, look, I know that he said no to the food, but there are a lot of us are going to be eating. I'm worried. I'm worried about it. Oh my goodness.
Time. Why are you asking AB
Because you were
for
busy,
my
you were on the
preference?
phone, and you were. sorting
AB's
through
not
the-
my spokesperson.
I totally should have.
Sometimes
I
it
knew
seems
it.
like
I
it is.
knew it. I swear. I even said. I told Abby. I feel like Ethan's not gonna like it if everyone is eating except you.
Yeah.
Right. Nah, so that very hard-hitting stuff there. Ethan felt left out of lunch, even though he said he didn't want food. Truly a great leader. I mean, who wouldn't want to follow that man into battle against pretty much everybody else on the internet? The guy who can't actually decide whether or not he wants a snack.